I want us to talk about something very important, something that could save you from unnecessary pain and regret. Let me say this loud and clear. Never allow yourself to be recruited by someone else to hate another person who has done nothing wrong to you. This might sound simple, but it is something that happens to so many of us, often without realizing it. It is easy to get caught up in someone else's emotions, their grudges, or their bad experiences. But let me ask you this. Why should you carry baggage that is not yours? Why should you inherit enemies who have never wronged you? Have you ever stopped and realized that you don't like someone? But when you think about it, they've never actually done anything to you. Let me break this down. Maybe you have a close friend, a family member, or even a partner who has a problem with someone else. They don't like this person, maybe for a valid reason, or maybe for something petty. Then they expect you to join their little hate campaign as a sign of loyalty. Does that sound familiar? But here's the truth. Only a fool inherits other people's enemies in the name of loyalty. And I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but think about it for a moment. Why should you poison your own peace for a conflict that doesn't concern you? Let me give you an example. Imagine someone tells you that a mutual friend is bad news or untrustworthy. Instead of checking for yourself, you believe it. You distance yourself from that person. Months later, you find out the issue was a misunderstanding or worse, just plain jealousy. What have you gained? Absolutely nothing. Now, what happens when the two people reconcile? Yes, suddenly they're good friends again and you're left out in the cold, looking foolish. Do you see how dangerous this is? Loyalty is important. Don't get me wrong, but loyalty should never mean blindly following someone's anger or hatred. Real loyalty is being honest with your friends, standing up for fairness, and refusing to be a tool for spreading negativity. Here's the thing, if someone can convince you to hate another person, they also have the power to turn others against you. It's a cycle, and no one wins in the end. So how do we avoid falling into this trap? Think for yourself. When someone tells you something bad about another person, take a step back. Ask yourself, what has this person done to me personally? Seek the truth. Don't judge based on hearsay. If you feel it's necessary, get both sides of the story. Often you'll find there's more to the situation than meets the eye. Stay neutral. It's okay to support your loved one emotionally without taking on their battles. You can be there for them without carrying their anger. Protect your peace. Don't let other people's drama consume your energy. Choose your battles wisely. Inheriting someone's enemies often involves spreading gossip or taking part in negativity. This behavior fosters a toxic environment and can make you a target for similar treatment in the future. Carrying someone else's grudges can be exhausting. Harboring anger or dislike towards someone takes energy that could be better spent on improving your own life. If you have children, younger siblings, or people who look up to you, inheriting enemies teaches them to do the same. Instead, be a role model for peace, fairness, and independent thinking. Mature and wise people focus on building bridges, not burning them. Carrying someone else's battles limits your ability to grow emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Here's what I want you to take away from this. In life, you are going to meet so many people. Some will love you, and some won't. But don't let someone else decide for you who deserves your kindness or who doesn't. Build your own relationships. Make your own judgments. And most importantly, guard your heart against unnecessary hate. Life is too short to carry grudges, especially grudges that are not even yours. Here's what I want you to take away from this. In life, you're going to meet so many people. Some will love you and some won't. But don't let someone else decide for you who deserves your kindness or who doesn't. Build your own relationships, make your own judgments, and most importantly, guard your heart against unnecessary hate. Let me tell you a true story about how inheriting someone else's enemy cost a man his life. This story really drives home the point of how dangerous this can be. There was a man named James, a hard-working father and husband who lived in a small town. He was known for being loyal to his friends, almost to a fault. One day, his closest friend, Marcus, got into a heated argument with another man in the town, Henry, over a business deal gone wrong. Marcus claimed that Henry had cheated him, and he was furious. As a loyal friend, James immediately took Marcus's side. Without knowing the full details, he decided that if Marcus hated Henry, he would hate him too. James started bad-mouthing Henry around town, avoiding him at community events, and even making rude comments whenever their paths crossed. But Henry wasn't the kind of man to let things slide. He grew angry with James, wondering why someone who had no part in the original argument had taken such a strong stance against him. Their feud escalated. Words turned into threats, and soon enough, it became personal. One evening, James was walking home from the market when he was confronted by Henry. Fueled by anger and resentment, the situation quickly got out of control. A fight broke out, and in the heat of the moment, Henry pulled a weapon. By the time it was over, James lay lifeless on the ground. James's story is a painful reminder of why you should never inherit someone else's enemies. His loyalty blinded him to the truth and dragged him into a conflict that had nothing to do with him. In the end, it cost him everything. Loyalty is a virtue, but it should never lead you to sacrifice your own peace, relationships, or life for someone else's fight. Always think for yourself and choose your battles wisely. Thank you for watching, and I hope this message helps you as much as it has helped me. If you found this valuable, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and let me know in the comments, have you ever been dragged into someone else's fight? How did you handle it? Let's learn and grow together. See you in the next video.